Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery series. My name is Carl Pauline and this week it's all about the myth of breaking down tasks into smaller chunks. Now, why do I call it a myth? Well, the myth goes that if you break down a bigger task into smaller tasks, it will make the work easier. No, it doesn't. Seriously, it does not. It does not make the task easier. What it does do is create overwhelm and too many tasks in your task manager. I always recommend, with some exceptions, that you don't break down your tasks too granularly. Now, there's a reason for that, but before we get to that reason, I would just like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this week's video. This week's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. With thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, productivity, freelancing, and so much more. Skillshare has classes to fit your schedule and skill level, and members get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes with hands-on projects and feedback from a community of millions. For instance, the wonderful Thomas Frank's class on building a productivity system that brings out your best is one of my all-time favorite classes. In this class, Thomas will take you through developing the right mindset as well as giving you templates to help you stay on track throughout the day. Now, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. Thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. And now it's time to hand you back to the video. Okay, thank you very much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this week's video. Now, why or what is the exception to breaking down tasks? There are some projects, very rare, but there are some projects that are very big. Now, these are the kind of projects that take 3 to 6 to even 12 or 18 months to complete. These need breaking down because they're not going to happen. But let me just give you a really big example. Now, I know most of you are probably not writing a book, but writing a book is a big job. It takes a long time because you've got to sit down and you've got to type those words. And typing between 60 and 100,000 words takes a long time. Now, I could, if I wished, I could put into my task manager, write chapter 12, write chapter 13, write chapter 14, and so on and so forth. But it's a waste of time. What am I actually doing? What work am I doing? I'm writing the book. So the task in my task manager for around about 6 months is going to be continue writing book. Now, all my notes for writing the book are in my project notes, or in my notes application. And if you come from a GTD background, that's called your project support materials. And yes, this is another misunderstanding about GTD. GTD is not about putting all your tasks into a task manager. GTD is about telling you what needs to happen, and that then directs you to your project support materials, which tells you what needs to happen next. So you can get on with the work. It contains the PowerPoint file or the Word document or the Google Doc or whatever, but it isn't actually having all those tasks inside your task manager. Big misunderstanding. Get that one cleared up. But let's go back to why you shouldn't be breaking your tasks down. The biggest number one reason why you shouldn't is simply because it causes overwhelm. And you might write out 5 tasks related to one project, you'll do 3 one day, and those other 2 tasks will just disappear into your system, lost forever. You'll end up duplicating it. Another one that you want to be very careful about is calls. I see a lot of people, calls and emails, it's the same thing. What I see a lot of people doing is sending email over to their task manager, actionable email to their task manager. Now, on the surface, that makes sense. It's a task, it's got to be done. But there's a problem with that is when you start doing that, you could end up with 10 to 15 emails that you send to your inbox every day. You could also have 10 to 15 phone calls sent over there. Now you've got 30 tasks in your inbox that need to be done at some point. At the end of the day, when you come to process your inbox, how motivated are you going to be to go through those 30 emails and those 30 tasks, plus all the other tasks that you've added, so it could be nearer 40, and start processing it? You ain't going to do it. And then the next day comes and then another load of tasks go in. And before you know it, you've got hundreds of tasks in your inbox and you're just going to say, oh, I've got too much work. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. Of course you are. There is a better way. The much better way to do that is to keep those actionable emails in a folder in your email app called Action This Day. And then one task that repeats every day in your task manager that says Clear Action This Day folder. That means you know you're going to need 30, 40 minutes, maybe longer, to clear that folder. So you make sure you've got that time scheduled to go and clear your email. Same with your calls. If you've got 10 to 15 calls to do each day, rather than having those as individual tasks in your task manager, just create a list in a spreadsheet or in your notes app for all the calls that you have to make. As you do them, just check them off. Then one of the other benefits of that, by the way, is you actually have a record of what you did and when, because you can see it. With a task manager, they will just disappear. Once you check them off, they're gone. You don't know or won't be able to remember when you called Jeff Skilling about whatever you were going to call him about. So think about what you're putting into your task manager. Get really strict about doing that. Make sure that if you've got projects, if you've got things that need a bit of thinking about, have quite a bit of work involved in them, then get your notes app working for you. Make a project note, get it into your notes app where you can throw in notes, you can throw in emails, you can throw in all sorts into a notes app, and just have single tasks which says work on this project, work on that project, do my calls, clear my actionable email. You know, one of the things I've been studying over the last 10, 20 years is really highly effective people who you would say are super productive. What is their secret? Their secret is they only have about 5 to 10 things on their task manager each day. And they're not tasks that have been broken down. They are big, meaningful tasks which then takes them to a different direction. Either it takes them to making phone calls, or it takes them to doing some research, or it takes them to building their presentation file or working with a team to build their presentation file. So get really strict about what you're putting on your task manager. You will thank yourself for that, because every day when you look at your task manager and you only see 5 to 10 tasks on there, you are going to be much more motivated about getting your work done. Hopefully that's helped you out a little bit. Hopefully it's going to clear some of those boundaries that are stopping you from really becoming more effective, because it's going to clear out your to-do list manager. It's going to make it much more motivating, and it's going to be a lot less overwhelming. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.